Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina. You guys know me as the Unicorn Mom as well as your favorite psychic right here on YouTube. And in today's Pick a Card Tarot prediction, we are going to be delving into you versus him. All of his feelings towards you, all of his thoughts are going to be uncovered within this psychic prediction. So if you have been wondering about what's going on between you and him, then this is the perfect reading for you to receive right now. Well, hello my gorgeous unicorn army. Before we get into your readings, I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, June's Journey. June's Journey is the ultimate experience for all of you who are into mystery games and elegant storytelling. Set in the 1920s, this mega thrilling detective tale allows you to search for hidden clues and undercover secrets, all while exploring stunning scenery. In June's Journey, you get to go on an adventure of unlocking June's mysterious past, diving into a hidden world of mystery, adventure, and hidden object puzzles. On every single level, June's Journey offers some of the absolute best hidden object gameplay experiences that there is out here. And as you're going through the levels on June's Journey, you get to test not only your detective skills, but also your own intuitive powers, which gives this a beautiful psychic touch. One of my favorite parts is that you get to design and customize your very own private estate island in this 1920s setting, which allows another aspect aside from the mystery solving, which is decorative gameplay, which I have always really been fond of. So you get to build the home of your dreams all while you're piecing together clues in order to solve the mystery of June's Journey and unlock the truth. And now it's your turn to give it a try. Download June's Journey with my link in the description box or the QR code that you can see on the screen right now to get started on your very own adventure today. I would like to once again thank June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. But now let's get back into your readings. Now, in order to help you figure out precisely what's going on between you and your person, I have prepared 4 groups for you to choose from. And in order to receive your reading, I would like you to pick one of these groups intuitively. And just as a little disclaimer, you can of course switch out the pronoun of he, him for any pronoun that fits your situation. So let's get into this. I'm going to introduce you to the 4 groups that I've got prepared for you today. Group number 1 corresponds to the shamanic medicine oracle deck, as well as the orange calcite crystal. Group number 2 corresponds to the Dark Heart Tarot deck, as well as the howlite crystal. Group number 3 corresponds to the Wandering Star Tarot deck, as well as the aquamarine crystal. And group number 4 corresponds to the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck, as well as the Amethyst crystal. And the timestamps to all 4 of these groups can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your mobile devices, your laptops, your TVs, your cell phones. So once you've clicked the timestamp of the group of your choice, you will be fast forwarded to the relevant portion of this video so you can relax and listen into your prediction. So what I'll do now is I will provide you with a little moment of privacy. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little longer to meditate on these 4 groups in order to pick the perfect one that you feel resonates with your situation. And then I'll be right back to guide you into your readings. Alright, so by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. I will now be getting into your readings, starting off with group number 1, which corresponds to the Shamanic Medicine Oracle deck, as well as the Orange Calcite Crystal. So if this is the group that you chose, then simply keep watching to figure out what's happening between you and him. And to my other 3 gorgeous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamps. Hello, my lovely soul of group number 1. You chose the Shamanic Medicine Oracle deck, as well as the Orange Calcite Crystal, which is a stone that is going to help us uncover the ways in which you can get clarity about what's going on between you and him and how he truly feels about you. This is a very energizing stone that brings that type of energy into energizing the truth about your situation. And I can't wait for us to delve deeply into what's going on between you you and him and to ask the angels, the universe, and your guides for the truth about exactly what is happening right here. So first up, we've got North, and we've got this polar bear too. Now, what this means is that there's a period of solitude that's going on right now, and he too feels as though you need this period of solitude. But after that, we've got East, which corresponds to an emergence. So what I see here is that right now you are going through this North Star time where you're both focusing on finding your true path, your true calling in life, your true North Star. And then from that place, there will be this coming out of the rays of sunlight, this coming out of warmth, of togetherness, of romance, this emergence of light again. So while there is this period of solitude and not really knowing what's happening or what's going on, that does not mean that it will be like that forever. This is just the current cycle. This is just the current period that you are experiencing with him, with your person. But I want you to know here within East, that an emergence is coming sooner than you expected. So they will be reaching out to you sooner than expected, but you have to allow the solitude to be loud. What does that mean? If you're in no contact right now, if you're not sure what's going on, that means not asking them what's going on constantly, not inquiring, but rather focusing on yourself, focusing on your purpose, and allowing that silence and your absence to speak volumes, because that will shine a light on your value. It will shine a light of what life without you is like. And they will be coming back sooner than you ever thought. I see here within birth that that is actually causing a renewal of the relationship between you and them. That is actually causing a complete change, an emergence, a flying away of the fear of feeling too tied down. Because for a moment there, things got very intense for him. Things got very intense for your person. The seed was planted of this feeling of things going too quickly, getting too serious too quickly. But I see that after a period of solitude, not being with you, not having access to you, and you allowing that to exist, you allowing that to look like a possibility, they're going to come running back to you, group number one. They're going to become completely obsessed with this new version of you that they have seen, which is a version that can also focus on themselves, a version of you that is strong, that allows things to come to you. And in birth, I see a complete renewal of your connection with him. I see a complete change. I see things changing from the ground up, but that's also because you have changed yourself and your behavior from the ground up by focusing more on you, group number one. And I want you to understand here that what I also see is a lot of birds that you will find as a symbol for this relationship and for him thinking about you. Perhaps even a deceased bird on the road, on the street, or as you're going for a walk. And that is a reminder, it is a symbol of the fact that, yes, freedom may have been something that he was craving or that he was thinking he really wants, until he got all of that freedom, that distance, that solitude, that space here in the polar bear, and it felt ice cold, and he actually wants a little bit of that warmth back, or shall I say, a lot of the warmth back that you brought into his life, because you are really the one who made his life and his existence as interesting as it was when you were in contact. Now, within the pig spirit, this is a symbol of using your mind very wisely. And using your mind wisely means that you also understand when to not get too impulsive. One thing that I see here within you versus him is that he is relying on you to listen to your emotion. And when you act in a way that is focused on yourself, that is focus on using your mind on things that give you the clarity that you seek, which at the time isn't him. He can tell he's not the center of attention. He does not get rewarded for bad behavior. He does not get rewarded when he leaves you in the dark. And when you're able to use your mind for what serves you rather than to overthink situations that are leaving you feeling like you don't really know what's going on, you will feel this sense of strength as well. The strength that comes from the inside out and that allows you to feel as though there's nothing actually that scares you or makes you afraid. Next up, we have got the vulture spirit. The vulture spirit is a representation that nothing is wasted. So don't feel as though right now you're you versus him situation, not really knowing what's going on. Group one, don't feel as though that is a bad thing, or that means that you've wasted your time with him, or that means that for some reason your emotions, that they were wasted, that they were not placed in the right situation or with the right person. Nothing is wasted right now. I want you to know that there will be an emergence of a opportunity for a fresh beginning with him as soon as this period of solitude has ended. And your spirit guides are telling you, don't break the period of solitude. Let him feel it, because if you break it too soon, then you're breaking the spell, the magic, and the thing that is binding him to you, emotionally speaking. Now here within the vulture spirit, also do know that he feels as though he misses you and everything that you gave to him. Oh, we've also got the peacock spirit that just turned itself right side up. If you saw me shuffling, if you're listening to this and watching, because I know a lot of you like to also just set my videos and my readings while you're doing things and forget about it, even fall asleep to it, have my readings on in the background of you doing tasks, cleaning your homes, being productive. But if you saw what happened, the peacock card turned itself right side up as we were speaking of him missing everything that you brought to the relationship and the connection. And the peacock spirit is really a representation of you shining so much energy, life force, and light into his life. And when that absence is felt, all of a sudden he wishes that he knew someone with such an open, big, and generous heart as yourself, because then all of a sudden he's realizing, oh, perhaps I made a mistake. But that absence can only be felt if you allow the absence to exist. Remember that, group number one. And we have another bird. We have so many bird symbols, from the vulture to the peacock to the two birds here within east to the bird within the birth card, as well as this pig spirit having a winged appearance right here. So the wings, the feathers, the bird, the energy of the element of air is an energy of communication, and communication being a privilege. Group number one, are you treating communication with yourself as though it's a privilege to be able to communicate with you? Or are you treating communication with you as though it's disposable, or as though people can come and go whenever they desire? I want you to know here within the beaver spirit that now is a time for you to lay a solid foundation for how the relationship with him shall continue. Laying a solid foundation and a new foundation is something that you can only do after a revolution, so to say, right? This time of solitude, this time of letting things play out as they should, emotionally speaking, and giving the situation true distance so that your absence can be felt, and then you lay the new ground rules. That could be better communication, that could be not leaving you in the dark anymore, that could be figuring out precisely how this relationship can work moving forward as he comes back and asks for forgiveness, asks for you to be back in his life, because he's realized what he has lost. He's realized what he is at a risk of losing. And I want you to know here in the vulture spirit and the peacock spirit that the more confident you remain in yourself, the more you let yourself and your heart shine, the more you will see this appreciation from him, because he can tell, oh, he's not with someone who doesn't see their own value. Next up, we have got Earth. Earth is a representation of nurturing, of growth, of planting seeds that can then grow into more. And I want you to understand here within Earth that we have this vibe of you being in a situation where maybe you felt very vulnerable to plant the seed of caring, of emotion with him, and then as things start to grow, you are asking yourself, did you invest in the right person? Is this the right person to even be worrying about? And I want you to know here within the upper world that this represents a future. This represents that there is a possible future for this relationship when you continue to nurture it, especially as he will want to continue to nurture it as well. I see here within Earth and the upper world that actually what is coming towards you is this wanting to only nurture things that actually have a future type of energy. So you're not interested in nurturing any relationships that don't continue. To you, by definition, relationships, obviously, they continue, they keep growing. And I see here within birth that there's also a birth that you both will experience and have a part of in the future of nurturing a child. Now, does that mean it is a child between you and him? That is one thing that I want you to know is just still in the works within your reading of being clarified. And I'd like to figure out precisely from Spirit what the answer is. All right, we've got fighting spirit. I want you to know here that a relationship in which you had to fight in order to get to this point of being together, of having this family, of having this bond, of having things basically have a new chance. That is one thing that I can see is going to be instilled in a child should both of you decide this is the next step that you want to take. And I see that you're most likely also going to have a kid that loves things such as karate, boxing, and so on as sport. And then I want you to know here within Queen of Everything that if you allow for this period of solitude to happen, then you become the queen of everything. Group number one, you become the queen of his heart. You become the queen of the relationship. You become the queen of the situation that you're in, of the connection. That's exactly what you deserve and exactly where you deserve to be. So one thing that I want you to know here for this relationship is that things are shaping up in a way that will give you the upper hand again. Having the upper hand means that you get to pick where things go. You get to pick whether you witness births of friends and family around you who are having kids, or whether you are part of that birthing club, so to say, right? Whether you are the one who is having the kids. Now, within the cow spirit, the miracles are endless. Group one. I want you to understand here that you versus him is actually more of a situation where the miracles are endless of ways in which you can be together and make this relationship work for the absolute best. You may have been worried that this relationship doesn't have a future, or that it's a very limited kind of outlook. But I also do want you to know here within the cow spirit that actually you are underestimating the strength of this connection and this relationship. The antelope spirit shows us that things are speeding up in this connection. Things are happening very quickly. And one thing that I need you to know, group number one, a message that I'm receiving here, is that by the time you've realized, oh, okay, something's changing, they're coming back, he's trying to see whether I'm still interested, that's when things are going to be speeding up in your connection with him. I want you to know here that when things speed up, when you become so proud of who you are again, so confident in yourself, that's when things speed up, and he actually wants to make sure that you are not going to run off and just be with someone else and basically replace him. So I want you to know here within the Queen of Everything and the Antelope Spirit that when you step into this queen energy, this energy of being in control and knowing your worth and your value, that is when things speed up for the best, because then it shows you're actually not worried about losing anyone, and people need to start worrying about losing you. That's where I want you to know here in the rattle, it's like you are completely rattling him. Changing your response from what it used to be, from the usual pattern that he knows you to act within, that rattles the entire situation, that rattles his world, that rattles the relationship to the core, and changes everything in a way that it's never happened before, which also will then get you a different response from him and a different future with him than you've ever had before, because everything is different. It's just like that saying, when you do the same thing over and over again but expect a different result, that is the definition of insanity. But also, if you are able to do things differently, then you can expect a different result. And that is exactly what the rattle is about, doing things differently and then being able to expect a different result too. And it not being a surprise that when you do things differently, you get a different result. It only makes sense, doesn't it, group number one? So that's one thing that I see here in your relationship with him. Next, we've got the medicine mask, which is a symbol of authenticity. Being authentically yourself, but your most strong, courageous, and self-secure self. your most loving self, the version of you that does not question their worth or their value, or whether they should be in a relationship where they get all this attention, all this love, all this care, these gifts, these dates. No, of course you expect, deserve, and should have that, group number one. And once you are in this medicine mask, like dark femininity type of energy, when you're in that authentic energy, that is something that is so magnetic, not just to him, but also to others. Which is why when he realizes that you have your personal power back, he is going to get a little worried and move pretty quickly at trying to make sure that he secures you, and that your interest and your attention and your love and care doesn't go to a completely different person. And I want you to know here, with an emotional baggage, that Spirit is telling us a little something about his past. He's got some emotional baggage when it comes to being authentic and sharing how he feels. That's also why you're not sure what's going on, because he has learned to keep his emotions bottled up. It is hard for him to really tell you what insecurities or challenges he's dealing with. It's hard for him to actually be able to put in words that, yeah, perhaps he is a little afraid of true commitment. Perhaps he is a little bit worried about what life is going to look like then. And I want you to know that this emotional baggage is something that once you understand more about it, you understand that this is genuinely and authentically who he is, and he's not trying to be mean or play games. And the thing here, within every step counts, is that we're not making excuses for him, though. He has to take steps towards understanding his own emotional baggage and actually learning to heal some of the wounds that he has that are connected to opening up. One thing that I'm getting here, a message that I'm receiving from Spirit, one thing that I see is that he never had to deal with a strong woman, a strong person in the way you are strong. He's never had the privilege of being around someone as authentic and as real and as honest as you. Women and just partners were seen in a way that was more objectified in the way he grew up. He has never met someone who is as strong, as courageous, and as intelligent as you are. And that's something that intimidated him at one point, because it made him feel a little bit less worthy. It made him feel like, well, what can I even offer? What is it that I can even, quote unquote, bring to the table? And that's where I want you to understand here that a little bit of this shyness, this overthinking, and also a feeling of not being enough because you have intimidated him once he learned just how much of a fighter that you are, just how much you've overcome. That is what has made him pull back momentarily. But remember, one thing we're getting within your reading is that it is momentary. Communication is going to happen sooner than you thought, as it will be revived. But group number one, this is just the start of your reading. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and energetically cleanse the space. Well, you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing, because we're going to delve even more deeply into your you versus him prediction. All that you need to do is continue to lean back, relax, and enjoy as I delve even more into these psychic messages for you. So group number one, simply hold on tight, and I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your reading. Hello, my gorgeous soul. Welcome back to your reading. Did you miss me? Let's delve a little more deeply into your you versus him prediction, shall we? So first up, we have got the broken bridge. Then we have got the coins and the tiger. So first up, in the broken bridge, I can see that there is some sort of unsuccessful outcome to a problem, but in the end, money will be coming to you. In your you versus him situation or situationship, I want you to know, group number one, you're not meant to be with someone who is not financially affluent and financially stable. There will be a broken bridge. There will be an unsuccessful outcome to a problem, and that problem being finances. But the coins actually are proof of the fact that you're not going to end up in a situation where that is an issue, because the coins represent money that is coming to you. The tiger means that you're doing something risky. You're kind of taking a chance. So I see that he is the type of person who takes calculated risks, and that is also how he has been able to make money. That is how he will be able to continue to create financial stability and wealth moving forward. So I want you to know here, group number one, what this means about your you versus him situation is that if you already worry about him being able to afford a life together, he's not the one. Within the flowers, know that you will receive flowers in the early dating stages from him onwards, because he can tell that is something that makes you happy. Happiness is extremely important when it comes to your you versus him relationship, and he feels the same way. The most important thing for him is that he can make you happy and that he can see you smiling, he can see you excited, he can see how you're over the moon. That is this one thing that he absolutely adores and loves to do. Next up, within the crown, honor and respect coming to you. I want you to know that regardless of what things look or feel like right now, group number one, honor and respect are coming to you. They are on their way to you. That is meant to be part of your life story. That is meant to be part of how your love life goes and how you and him are able to build a life together. You are not meant to be with anybody who does not honor and respect you. You're not meant to be in a relationship where you're kind of wondering where you stand, or where you're kind of wondering whether this person truly cares about you. You are meant to be in a mutually beneficial, respectful, and loving relationship, group number one. If it's not that, then you already know that it's not the one. Moving more deeply into your reading, let's see what else that he's thinking about your situation. So we've got the seahorse as well as the lynx. One thing that I want you to know here is that the seahorse represents equality, and it represents different gender roles and gender norms. That is where he kind of feels as though he's keeping a secret from you, because the lynx represents secrets. So he feels as though he has emotions about gender norms and things that go on in relationships that he's keeping a secret, that he's kind of a little bit afraid to share with you, because he's worried about how you're going to take it, if you're going to accept it, if you're going to understand it, if you're going to be on his side, basically, and if you're going to feel the same way, because gender roles and gender norms are something where I see he's still in a more traditional mindset, and that's something that he wants to keep up moving forward. Even if starting a family with you becomes a topic, it is really important for him that, yeah, okay, there is equality in a sense of everybody is respected and honored. That's what we've got here in the crown. But he definitely wants to feel like he can be in his divine masculine energy without being judged. That if you have kids, you have a son, for example, that he can raise his son in divine masculine energy without feeling as though he has to raise his son the exact same as his daughter. So he has all of these thoughts, and he wonders how you feel about it. But it's something that he's pretty shy to ask you. Next up, within the butterfly, this pertains to your soul, and the butterfly is also a representation of happiness and transformation. Right now, your relationship to him is in need of this butterfly energy, which is transformative energy. This is an energy of switching from where the relationship currently is to a place where you have wings and you're able to take the relationship to the next level. It's like the relationship is in the cocoon stage. So first it was a caterpillar, it was growing, right? Just as a caterpillar was eating, growing, and then it goes into the stage of being in the cocoon, or shall I say chrysalis, you know the little pouch that forms as the caterpillar is going through the transformation into the butterfly. That's the stage that your relationship is in right now. So it is the pre-butterfly stage, but just notice how as a butterfly, wings are present. So the caterpillar couldn't fly. The caterpillar wasn't able to go to places that the butterfly is able to see. And that's what's happening next with your relationship with him. It's just in this cocoon stage. So next up, we've got the Wolverine. There is this fierceness about you. And this fierceness is a type of energy that he's never dealt with before. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily openly super fierce, but he can feel that there is a very fierce side of you that exists, that is present, that is here. And I want you to know here that when it comes to fierceness, when it comes to being very upfront, real, and direct, this is something that you absolutely bring to the table, that he has never experienced this mix between fierceness and femininity, and also someone who has their head screwed onto their shoulders so soundly. I see here within the medicine mask that, again, the authenticity that you have about you and your persona, that is so attractive to him. That is something that he finds to be unique, special, and completely different with you versus other people that he's seen or dated or been with. The medicine mask and this dark red also shows a very primal type of physical attraction that is present between you and him, and the state of being where both of you are most likely going to find one another attractive for a very long time physically as well. Next up, within the upper world, I do see here that when it comes to a future together, this is something that he has been overthinking but has not shared, and that's also why you're not sure what's going on between you and him, because he has been in the upper world. He has been overthinking the future, the compatibilities, what things might look like 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. He's really put a lot of thought into what might happen in the future between you and him and how things can work out. And I want you to also know here within the upper world that what this means is that a future together is something that won't just randomly happen. There will be planning, like planning where to move, where to work, having kids, having pets, purchasing a home, what vehicle that you want to purchase together. I definitely see here within the upper world that the compatibility that you have with your zodiac placements is something that makes this whole process a lot easier once the relationship has gotten out of this chrysalis stage that we spoke about in the butterfly. Next up, we've got love is in the air. He's literally so afraid of his emotions. Oh gosh, group number 1. He has never felt this way before. He has never had this kind of like very strong emotion towards a person the way he has towards you. And within love is in the air, it just makes it abundantly clear that he doesn't know what to think, what to feel, but it's a lot. And he's trying to find a way to communicate this to you. He's trying to find a way to make sense of it, and then a way to communicate without losing his manhood, without losing his masculinity, without kind of losing face in front of you, really. He doesn't want to seem as though he's weak. And within the queen of everything, it is also a very clear sign that he pedestalizes you. He sees you as the queen of everything. He sees you as the ruler. He sees you as someone who is on a throne. He finds you extremely attractive physically, but also emotionally, mentally speaking. And he is 100% in a space where he's afraid to mess things up, so he's not sure how to move forward whatsoever. And the queen of everything also shows that you have all the power. The world is your oyster, it's in your hands. Within goal setting, he is setting some goals on how he can move forward with your connection, with these baby step goals, if you will. So trying to figure out precisely how he wants to move forward, what to do next. He has a lot of goals for himself, and he's wondering whether you want to be part of those goals as well. So he has a lot of goals professionally, and that might also entail moving to another place, another country. And he's a little bit worried that what you have built and created is not something that you want to give up to move to another place with him. So goal setting involves you, but it also definitely involves feeling as though he doesn't want to make you do something that you're not ready, willing, or prepared to do at this stage in your life. Next up, we have got gentleness. Now, gentleness is all about him being very, very sweet, very kind, very caring, very giving, and just a gentle person overall. He is the oldest in his family. That's the energy I'm getting with gentleness. He's always been the type to take care of his parents and the siblings. That's what I see here within gentleness. So he's always been the strong one, the leader, the fierce one towards the outer world, but protecting his family gently towards the inside. So that is one thing that I see is a very attractive trait that you perhaps have seen in him as well, group number one, and it makes you so attracted to being with him, to seeing where things can go. And I want you to know here, within gentleness, that another thing about this soft approach that he's capable of, it just also shows how he is going to be in a relationship with you. And the koi fish spirit shows that one of the things that he's really concerned about is being able to provide, being able to always have enough. The koi fish spirit is a symbol of abundance. It's a symbol of having more than enough. It's a symbol of being abundant in all areas of life, whether it be time, financially abundant, whether it be energy, health. I want you to know here within the koi fish spirit that this is a representation of always having enough of what you need and what you desire when being with this person. Now, that is one thing that at the moment, again, he is goal setting, he's creating, he's building, and he doesn't want to seem weak. He doesn't want to seem like he doesn't have it all together yet. So there's definitely a little bit of this apprehension here to be completely honest about still being in the building and the creating phase, because he does not want to mess things up with you. Next up, we have got the eagle spirit for you. The eagle spirit represents that Spirit has got your back, group number one. Spirit has got your back with this connection with him. Spirit has got your back in love in general. And I want you to know here in the eagle spirit that you are watched over and that things will turn out in a way how you're with the type of person with whom you can actually build a life with, who's ready to move forward. I want you to know that in your you versus him situation, the one thing that is right now the most challenging portion is that he feels like you're completely ready and like he doesn't have everything to offer yet that you would like or that you might expect. So there's a little bit of fear, there's a little bit of intimidation here in regard to your connection and your situation. But he is trying to find a way to communicate exactly that and to see whether this is perhaps a situation in which you both can bring out the best in one another and build up to a life together, starting from where you are right now. So my gorgeous soul of group number one, this is the reading that I received for you. If you found it insightful, if it resonated, leave a little crown emoji below in the comment section. After all, we had the queen of everything as well as the crown show up within your reading. That way me and others will know that you're part of group number one and you watched your reading all the way to the end. And furthermore, group number one, wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, furthermore, group number one, you can also find my downloadable PDFs below in the description box. Everything is linked there as well, and the decks that I used within this video and this reading. And wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, know that I'm sending you so much love. And I can't wait to connect with you during one of your upcoming predictions. Hello, my lovely soul of group number two. You chose my Dark Heart Tarot deck, which is a limited edition tarot deck that I published, as well as the howlite crystal, which is shaped in the form of this gorgeous heart, and it's also electroplated. That's why you can see has this kind of iridescent shine to it. So what the howlite represents in relation to your reading is a very clean and pure energy, which we are going to uncover now in your reading about you versus him. So let's see exactly what's going on in your relationship. So we've got the Devil, the Eight of Blades, as well as the Judgment card in reverse. Group number two. Let's see precisely what this means. And now within the Eight of Blades, I can see that he's in a situation where he feels like his hands are tied, where he feels like he can't really move forward because in the Devil, he is overthinking a lot. The suit of blades is the suit of the element of air, which means everything that happens in your mind, in your thinking process. And I want you to know here within the Eight of Blades as well as the Devil that this means he's overthinking profusively. He feels as though you are going to also judge him for that. I see that in the Judgment card reverse. Again, just to reiterate, group number 2, this reading is about how he feels. This is about what is going on in his mind. This doesn't have to mean that it is the truth that you would actually be judging him, but this is how he truly feels. Now, within the Judgment card reverse, it is definitely a sign in reverse that he is soon going to come out of this hiding mode when it comes to his feelings and his emotions, and just come clean about the fact that he has been overthinking a lot about your connection, and he feels trapped because he does not know how to properly communicate it, say it. And within the Devil card, he's also overthinking his connection to the material realm. So the Devil is a representation of overthinking your job, your finances, as well as things such as being able to go out to enjoy pleasures in the sense of drinking alcoholic beverages, having connections with other people that are romantic and so on. And the Eight of Blades shows one being basically like tied up. Can you see here within the Eight of Blades? And that is something that he's overthinking, that he's trying to come to terms with, that he feels being with you, being in a committed relationship, means giving up the part of singlehood that represents freedom. And he does not want to say that that's one thing that he's really overthinking, because he doesn't want to be judged for it, or for you to feel as though it is this thing where he's afraid to give up the freedom, like he doesn't value you. He doesn't want you to feel like he doesn't completely value you or the connection. So that's why he's just silent, and he's just having his own thoughts in his mind about his readiness, about his ability to get into something serious and into something legit. And I see here within the Ten of Blades that that's something that's making him very tired and exhausted, and almost like in a sense not wanting to reach out until he's really figured it out. The Fool card in reverse represents that there is a completely fresh beginning that's coming towards you and him and the connection once this relationship and once the communication has been restored. The Fool card in reverse shows that there's going to be a delay in him reaching out to you until he has clarity over what is going on right here. So until he really feels like he's got his situation sorted out, he is not going to be reaching out till he has more clarity and can actually communicate that to you. Because without being able to communicate to you exactly what's going on, he feels kind of a little bit stupid, and there is a lot of overthinking going on. I see that here within the Four of Blades. So he is in a real pickle when it comes to his mental health headspace. And one thing about this that makes the situation so intense is because you're not sure what's going on, and it's not really necessary because he could just talk to you, but he doesn't know you in that regard. I see here in the Seven of Cups, he feels as though there's so many ways in which this could go if he tells you the truth, and he's worried that one of the ways in which this could go is that you no longer want to talk to him. You no longer want to deal with him. You're no longer happy with him, because the Suit of Cups is the suit of your emotions. It's the suit of the element of water. And the Seven of Cups represents different types of emotions that are available, right? We've got 7 cups, and they all have a different type of avatar, a different type of setting. One cup has a crown, one cup has a flower, one has a diamond, one has a crow. We've got wheat, we've got an apple, and we've also got a snake here. And I want you to know that this shows there are so many different ways in which this can go, and he's a little bit afraid that he's going to risk losing you. He's a little bit afraid that it's going to potentially go in a way he doesn't want it to go, and that would mean stress. That would mean the relationship changing for the worse, and he's kind of a little bit afraid about how you will judge him, how you will feel about him, feel towards him, whether you will still take him seriously once he has come clean about the things that he's going through mentally, the overthinking he's doing. So he's kind of doing it more in private. Now, next up, we have got the polar bear. The polar bear represents ancestors too. He comes from a family background where his parents and his grandparents believed in working things out in relationships. So for him, once he has settled on being with someone for real, he is not going to leave that person. He's going to be with that person forever. He's going to want to actually stay in that person's life. He believes that, for example, marriage is forever. He believes that relationships should be worked on rather than just going on the next dating app, swiping right or left again, and moving on in an instant. And I do also want you to know here within the hair that family is something he is thinking about when it comes to the connection with you. And being serious in the connection with you, wanting to build with you, means also building a family, building a stable foundation for that family, for kids, for pets, for being together in the long term. And I want you to know here within the hair and the cycles that we've got going on, that he is in a position where he wants to actually give you time and space as well to think about how you truly feel towards him. And if you are ready for more, if you're ready for this to truly be a relationship where you work through things in the good times and the challenging times. Now, the red-crowned crane is a representation of loyalty. He's actually far more loyal than you perhaps think that he is or can be. Now, right in this very moment and situation, loyalty is something that he's also questioning in you, because he does not know you as well as he would like in regard to loyalty. So he's thinking about whether you're texting anyone else right now, whether you're maybe interested in another person. He does wonder whether you are as into him as he is into you. He's a little bit worried about getting hurt. That is one thing that is definitely on his mind, and that definitely makes him feel as though he wants to tread lightly and carefully when sharing his deepest emotions with you. Now, next up, within the swan, I do see here that he finds you so beautiful and elegant. The swan represents beauty, elegance, and also a sense of innocence too. I want you to know here within the swan that he is the type of individual who finds you to be attractive and beautiful, not from a place of just conventional beauty standards, but he loves the way that you move. He loves the way you talk. He loves the way that you write and text. He finds it to be so intelligent and eloquent, and just on a completely different level than anyone else that he's ever spoken to. So in his mind, you are very special. In his mind, you are very different from the average person. And I want you to also know that because he's never experienced a type of connection and a type of person like you, who seems to be so elegant, and he also thinks that you come from a very put together type of good family, good background. This is about how he feels, and not necessarily something that has to reflect the precise truth. Group number 2, you may have had your own traumas, your own challenging family situation, but the way that your manners are and your people skills, you could also come from a really affluent background and family. Nobody else would know that. And I see here within Stormy that he comes from a rather stormy situation. So he feels like there is a huge contrast. Like he had a challenging time growing up. He grew up with siblings and a relationship with his parents that was tumultuous, where there was violence, either emotionally or physically. There was a lot that was extremely imperfect, and it makes him feel self-conscious because he's wondering whether he's good enough, whether you would even want to be with someone like him, whether you would even want to be with a person who has dealt with so much at a young age already. And within In Touch with Your Body, he also feels like physically you are on another plane, on another level. All of these things have made him go silent. All of these things have made him pull back and just kind of ask himself, if he also feels like he truly deserves you. Because people don't always pull back for a reason like not wanting to be with you or talking to other people. Sometimes they also pull back because they are overthinking, they are self-conscious, they are wondering whether they're good enough for you, group number 2. That's exactly what I can see is kind of going on with him internally here when he thinks about you and the connection that you have with one another. He's worried whether he's physically good enough. Is he tall enough? Is he muscular enough? Is he dressed well enough for you? Does he earn enough money? Does he impress you? I see here within the fox spirit that he sees you as just like this fox, thinking very quickly and on your feet, someone who is extremely intelligent. You're smarter than the usual person that he would date, and it's just something he has not experienced to this extent before. So it's almost like he a little bit doesn't quite know how to handle himself and how to make sure that he does not lose his confidence or his cool in front of you. So there's a little bit of this overthinking going on. And next up, within the antelope spirit, I do see here that life is speeding up with your person. I see here that he is the type of person where once he is sure and set on no more feeling self-conscious, no more overthinking, everything happens very quickly from there on out because there are no doubts anymore. There's no reason to overthink. There's no reason to feel self-conscious at all. All that can happen from there on out is quick forward movement. And the antelope spirit also tells me here that he will probably be reaching out shortly after you have received this reading. But what's important is that you don't reach out beforehand because you might disrupt the thought pattern that needs to happen and needs to be completed in silence and in peace on his side, to where he gets 100% clear on what he wants and on wanting to reach out to you with this newfound confidence and not feeling as though he's perhaps not good enough or not anything enough for you. He has to get rid of that, and he's the only one who can do that. You can't help him do that. He has to do that all by himself. And I urge you, group number 2, to allow for this process to complete. All right, don't interrupt it by texting, by calling, by trying to figure out what's going on. Just remain silent, and he will be speedily running back to you far quicker than you ever expected. Next up, we have got the skunk spirit in reverse. Now, the skunk spirit reverse means that he is finally finding his worth again in this time of being away. He felt a little insecure for a moment. He went away. He went silent. He went quiet. You weren't sure what was going on. But he's coming back quickly with newfound confidence and with a newfound sense of really wanting to take this to the next level. So group number 2, you'll be surprised at him coming back and being like a revamped, far clearer version of himself than you ever knew, than he ever showed you before. And this will also give you confidence in the connection and in the relationship that it is worth continuing for you to pursue and invest your time and energy into. So let's move a little more deeply into your reading, group number 2, shall we, to figure out more details. All right, we've got the trickster. One thing here is that he's worried about having his heart broken by you. He's worried about the fact that what he feels in his mind and in his head about being together, wanting to see where things can go, he's worried that he's kind of picturing it going way better than it actually will. He's worried about you not liking him fully. I see here within the trickster that he does also see you as sort of a challenge. And the thing is, he's worried that he will invest a lot of time and energy into trying to woo you and wow you, but you in the end still perhaps not wanting to be with him, you rejecting him. That is his worst fear looking like he tried so hard and you were not interested in him from the beginning. And to have his heart broken and shattered, that's his worst fear. I see here within the shaman that he's actually been speaking to a lot of his friends and family about you and your connection, even though you don't know this. But he has been asking others for help, for advice, for their thoughts on whether he should move forward the way he thinks to do and the way he thinks to continue the connection with you, or whether he should kind of course correct and do something different. The shaman also tells me that he's either already been in a ritual with a shaman, like for example a plant medicine ritual, or he's planning to go and do something such as ayahuasca in a ceremony that involves a shaman. There is a shamanic connection here. He perhaps also has even had a grandfather, a great-grandfather figure that was a shaman within his lineage and his bloodline. That's another thing that I see here within the shaman, and he is actually going to have these healing energies and properties passed down to him energetically. Next up, we've got the vision quest in reverse. Now, the vision quest in reverse tells us here that he is no longer seeking now after he has found you. So if you have been wondering whether he is still seeking for the right person, whether he thinks the right person is still out here, he knows that you're special. He knows that you're one of a kind. He knows that he's able to seek if he wants to, but he's just not going to find. He's just not going to find someone like you again. That's one thing that I see here within the vision quest. And another thing about this is that it's very clear for him as well that if he is not going to find a way to overcome the fears, the overthinking, and the worry of rejection in a way that is timely, that you might just be scooped up by someone else who doesn't have this overthinking within them and doesn't have any fear and is going to communicate in a way that puts them ahead of the game, where you might end up with someone else. So the pineapple is actually a symbol of reconciliation. It's a symbol of trying to come back, make things right, and find a way to get back into your good books, to find a way to connect with you again. That's one thing I see here within the pineapple that he is extremely thoughtful of and trying to find ways how he can do so. And then the camel represents persevering and overcoming problems. He is not a quitter. He will persevere. He will try to pursue you. He's not going to give up. Despite things being unclear right now, I want you to know here within the camel, he's not giving up. He is going to keep trying to make being together be a possibility and a way that you guys can move forward. So do know here within the camel that he has his mind set on coming back. He has his mind set on being part of your life still, even though right now you might not be sure what's going on, where his head is at. I want you to know his head is definitely in a place where he has no doubt about wanting to find a way to make things work between the two of you. He just doesn't know how, and in a sense, he feels like it's all on him. We've got the tarantula that showed up next for your reading, group number 2, which represents connection. Connection and feeling like the connection is so entangled, and that once the connection becomes even more serious, he will introduce you to his family. You might do the same, and friends, and he wants to make sure that he's ready for this. And one thing here within the tarantula is that he is also very aware of the fact that his friends and family will want for this relationship to work out for the long term, and that might cause some sort of additional pressure in the relationship and in the connection. That's something that he's not sure he wants to happen, and he's not sure how to say to you that he doesn't want to get others involved too soon without it seeming like he does not want to make the relationship official. Next up here within the elephant, leadership is a huge topic within your connection with him, and figuring out the right way to lead this connection and this relationship. Group number 2, this is one thing that I want you to know is the focal point of the relationship with you and him. Leadership, being able to know where the relationship is going, both being able to lead equally, but also sometimes you might be tired and you want him to be able to lead the relationship healthily, successfully, and reliably. And there might be times where he is feeling overwhelmed and you have to become the one stepping up, leading the relationship, making the plans as to where you're going next, where you're moving next, how the relationship is going to keep growing, flourishing. I see here within the peregrine falcon that he is observing everything around you right now. So he might still be watching your stories, looking at your status updates, checking when you were last online, what you're doing, even if it's from a distance, because it just gives him a sense of still being part of your life and still knowing what's going on until he is coming back for the ultimate conversation and communication that has to happen between you and him in order to be able to continue on with this connection and for this connection to have a future together. As already mentioned, group number 2, he is worried about rejection. He is worried about looking like a clown, so to say, looking like this trickster. He is aware that you are smart, intelligent, that you're not going to settle for less. And this is something that he is so respectful of that he would rather take a step back than try to fool you, play you, or pretend, which is why precisely right now your relationship and your connection is in this very situation. But I do want you to know that we have a few more messages that need to be unraveled and uncovered for us to get the full picture as to what's going on between you and him and more of the thoughts that he has in regards to you and your relationship with him. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your reading group number 2. As usual, you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do a thing. Simply continue to lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading, and I'll be right back to guide you even more deeply into your prediction. Welcome back, group number 2. Let's delve a little more deeply into your reading, shall we, to figure out precisely how he is feeling towards you. So we've got the peppermint as well as the chili. Now, the peppermint is a representation of success, whereas the chili represents stimulation. So what you do is you stimulate the emotions of success in him. You stimulate the emotion of wanting to be better, wanting to be more successful, wanting to be that person, that you want to associate with and that you would want within your life, that you would want to actually romantically be with. So the thing about you making him want to be better is that it makes him want to work harder. It makes him want to show you that he's capable. You stimulate a side of him that just becomes more and more successful. So you would be an addition to his life that is irreplaceable in a sense of his career becomes better when you're around. He has his friendships that are just blossoming because he shows up fully. He has the best physical condition ever because he's actually more motivated to work out, to go to the gym, to do all of the healthy habits. So you have an insanely positive influence on him. That's one thing that I can see here. And within the sorrel, we've also got affection. Affection means showing affection to him, but him also wanting to show affection to you. So I want you to understand that what this represents is that he feels affectionate towards you. He feels like he wants to show you just how much that you are actually getting him to step out of his comfort zone in the best possible way. And he feels affectionate in the sense of wanting your affection as well. So wanting your recognition, wanting you to basically tell him he's been doing a good job. He loves your validation. And when he's afraid he's not going to get your validation, that is when he pulls back. That is when he feels insecure. That's when he kind of feels like the ground has been taken from beneath his feet. That's also why we've got Taurus here represented in the symbol, represented in Taurus here as a symbol of the earth sign of groundedness. So let's move more deeply into your reading to figure out precisely what this further means. We have got the medicine mask. So within the medicine mask, I want you to know that he loves the most authentic you. He loves when you're just so honest, so direct. You tell him what it is that you desire. You tell him what it is that you want. And you are just so real with him. The medicine mask is also a representation of taking away all of the ways in which you have been pretending, all of the ways in which you have been trying to tone it down, and just fully embodying you, fully embodying the version of you that's also perhaps a little bossy, a little bit nice, nasty in your attitude. So that means being kind, but not being a pushover at all. I see here within the tree people that one thing about your situation is that there's a lot of substance and sustenance here. The tree people shows us as a sign in your reading that actually this is a relationship, this is a connection that you have with him that has far more substance than he has ever experienced before. He's never experienced a relationship with this much substance. He has never experienced anything that is this deep. And it is a complete 180 from his ex, his past relationship. Because I see here in the sacred site that he lost his purpose during that period. The sacred site has showed up in reverse. He lost his purpose. He lost his direction. He lost even his faith in himself as well. And one thing that I want you to know here is that when the sacred site shows up in reverse, this means that he's in a situation where now he's put between the decision to continue as he was before by himself, not being fully in his purpose, or stepping so deeply into his purpose and reaching another level of success by associating with you, by having you as part of his life. Because that's something that would completely, basically blow things out of the water for him and make things extremely heightened in the arena of success for his career and his professional life. One thing here within Confessions is that he wants to be honest with you, and he's going to confess to you sooner than you expected. I want us to figure out precisely how many days from you receiving this reading that you will also receive a confession. Oh, we have got 5 days, my gorgeous soul. 5 days until you receive your confession, group number 2, and you receive that text, that reaching out, that trying to come back to you. And I want us to use our astro dice to figure out exactly what it is that he's going to say. All right, so we have our astro dice that actually landed right on the symbol of Capricorn. And I want you to know that this landing on the symbol of Capricorn means he is going to reach out to you in a very grounded manner to work things out. Capricorn is the sign of working things out, of building, and of creating a solid foundation upon which you can continue to build together. This is a very disciplined sign. When someone reaches out with Capricorn energy, they're reaching out wanting to rebuild with you and be disciplined and create an infrastructure for the future. So he's going to be coming to you with that type of vibe and that type of energy. I want to see what else that our guides have to say about this. No strings attached. So the thing here is that he does not want you to feel as though you have to accept or you have to take him back. He is completely okay with the fact that you might reject him now. And group number 2, in your you versus him, you do need to bear in mind that this is a type of person who does have some ego, who does have some pride, and they don't want that to be hurt. They also are in a position where they feel like if you're meant to be, then things will work themselves out, and if you're not, then things might continue to be a struggle. But they're very much open-minded about how the connection will continue, and they don't want you to feel forced or like you have to do anything that you don't desire to do. Next up, we've got the Swan. The Swan is a reiteration that they find you extremely beautiful. Your person finds you to be externally elegant, beautiful, just gorgeous, basically. And one thing about them is that your external beauty is what drew them in, but your internal beauty is what made them stay. Your character is what made them stay. Your personality is what is really driving them crazy and what is having them come back 5 days from the time you have received this timeless pick a card psychic reading. Now, here within the Swan, I also want you to know that the fact that they find you so attractive and beautiful also makes them blind to other quote-unquote flaws that you have. So they are not as bothered about other things that you might be worried that they don't like as much. So that could be, for example, a flaw that you find in yourself physically or in your character. Maybe you have some sort of neurodivergent type of hunch or touch. Now, here within the Beaver, They are 100% committed to putting in the work. The beaver represents work. Your person is dedicated to their own work, so their own professional life, but also to work with you, working on the relationship, working things out, working together in order to build. So they're definitely a very committed type of person that you can count on. They're the type of person who isn't afraid to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty and create something really magnificent from the ground up. So that's one thing here within the beaver that I want you to be aware of. But if you're not in the mood to build, if you're not wanting to be with someone who you will have to put some work in a sense that maybe with another person, they've already got it built, because you know what they say, what one man is still building, another man has already built. But that's completely up to you. Group number 2, we're all in different phases and we feel differently about different people. Some people might be fun to build with. Others, you might think to yourself, it's not really worth the time and the sacrifice. I see here within the sisterhood of the rose, beauty and devotion, priestess energy, mystic energy, teacher energy. So they see you as someone super intelligent and inspirational. They see you as someone who inspires your friends and your family, and perhaps you even have a little social media following, group number 2, of people who look up to your work and people who come to you for advice, who come to you to want to work together with you on projects. They want to work with you on creating legacy, and they look up to you. They find inspiration in you. That's one thing that I see here within the sisterhood of the rose, and furthermore within the keepers of the earth. You're not alone. Your ancient ancestors, they stand behind you. That's what this card represents. And I want you to also know here that the keepers of the earth represent different spirit animals. You're not alone in this, in the sense of the keepers of the earth means that your spirit animals are here with you and they are wanting to protect and guide you. We've got a puma, we have got an elephant, and we also have a wolf and an eagle. These are your spirit guides. These are your spirit animals. I want you to know here that your ancient ancestors stand beside you too, group number 2. And you're going to want to pay close attention to what is happening in your love life. Be authentic and remember that your ancestors fought so hard for you to have this freedom, for you to have this opportunity to have the love life of your dreams. Don't settle. Let them come to you 5 days from now. Let them confess their feelings to you. That is how you can start to build on even ground that allows for them to still adore you, rather than feeling like you were the one who had to come back to them. And that will create a type of energetic vibe and frequency that you will love in this relationship moving forward. Now, group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I trust that you found it insightful, that you enjoyed it, and that it resonated. Feel free to leave a wolf emoji below in the comment section, which is one of your spirit animal guides, because the only way anyone would know that you were part of group number 2 is a fellow soul of group number 2 who also watched the reading all the way to the end and then left a wolf emoji below in the comment section. Also, make sure that you get my PDF downloadables. All of my resources can be found in the description box. And wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. You chose the Wandering Star Tarot deck as well as the Aquamarine Crystal to help give you all of the insight that you deserve on your you versus him situation and journey. In this Pick a Card tarot reading, we're going to be delving into all of the nitty-gritty details about your connection, starting off with the Wandering Star Tarot deck. So let's see precisely what the universe, your angels, and your guides need you to know about your situation. We've got the 9 of Wands as well as the 10 of Wands in reverse. So I want you to know that what this means here, group number 3, is that the situation that you're in right now won't last forever. It's actually coming to an end sooner rather than later. What that means is you won't be wondering what's going on between you and him anymore. You won't be hoping to figure out precisely what it is that is happening. You are going to receive ultimate clarity sooner than you expected. expected. That's one thing that I'm receiving here so far. Next up, we've got the Two of Swords in reverse. So rather than being in a situation in which you feel as though nothing's moving forward, you're blindfolded, you can't see a future, you don't know how to decide, because the Suit of Swords corresponds to the element of air, which is the element of communication, and the Two of Swords is a card that actually means it's time to make a decision, otherwise you won't be able to move forward and you'll just stay stuck in the same situation forever. I want you to know here, the Two of Swords is definitely giving us the insight that things will be moving forward more quickly than you expected. Things will be moving in the right direction sooner rather than later. Next up, we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a representation of things going well for you in this relationship as you're leaving behind the old and you're able to step into the new. The Eight of Cups means there is a change coming towards you and your connection with him. There is a huge change that is allowing you to feel more in control and as though you have now used your mind very wisely. In case you didn't know this, the octopus is actually a creature that is insanely intelligent and is actually seen as a huge problem solver. So any types of issues that you're having right now within this connection, I see that that will be solved and resolved for you in the very near future. So there is not only hope at the end of the tunnel, well, light at the end of the tunnel, but light is a symbol for hope. But group number 3, one thing that this also means is that you're actually going to be far happier with how this is progressing now versus if you would have had the picture perfect scenario right from the start. Let me tell you why. Because here within the Swan, I do want you to know that your beauty is extremely appreciated by your person. He sees you as elegant, as beautiful, and in a way almost like a swan, intimidatingly beautiful, intimidatingly stunning. And if you've ever seen swans in real life, then you know that they just have this energy and this aura about them that makes you respect them and not necessarily run the other way, but you take a little bit of safety distance because you don't know what such a magnificent creature is actually capable of, because they do have a little bit of an intimidating and daunting aura. Next up here within the deer that we received within your reading, group number 3, what this means is that he sees you as powerful. He sees you as someone who is in their full inner power. He sees you as someone who is intuitive, someone who knows exactly what it is that they want, exactly what it is that they're doing. And he also sees you as the type of person who would be a great leader and head of a household. The deer also corresponds to master number 11, which is a master number of leadership, of being someone that others listen to. So he does feel as though you have a lot more say in your life than you are perhaps even aware of, and than most people your age. So you are far wiser than your age, you are wise beyond your years, and you're extremely mature. Next up, we have got the honeybee. The honeybee represents reciprocity. Now, if this is something that you're looking to attain within your connection to him, leave a honeybee emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know you're claiming this, you're manifesting this, not just in your reading, but also in real life within your connection, as the honeybee is about putting in the work and both working on a relationship that is mutually enhancing your lives. So him making your life better, you making his life better, and feeling as though you're pouring into each other rather than being on a mission of growth by yourself. That's what that is the type of energy that the honeybee brings into this reading and brings into your connection. Next, we've got the best case scenario and master number 33. If you were wondering how your relationship with him is going to turn out, what he's thinking, how things are going to unravel and unfold, you're actually going to be stepping into your best case scenario. Things are going to unravel a lot better than you had expected, group number 3. And things happening in a way that you never dreamt they would. This is the confirmation that you may have been looking for. And it's all coming from a place of going through updates to your system, because you are not allowing for anyone to confuse you about what it is that you deserve. You're not settling for mediocrity. You're only going to allow yourself to align with the best, healthiest, and most loyal love. And in updates to your system, I see that when you stop accepting the bare minimum and you stick to it, you don't text, beg, you don't over communicate. That is what you receive, because you're not allowing space for anything else from him. You're not allowing space for anything else from anyone else either. So when you do that, everything changes for you. And within Queen of Everything, group number 3, it is semi-self-explanatory. Yes, you are the queen of everything. You're stepping into your queen energy. Also, as you can see, she's holding this globe in her hand. She is basically saying she has got the world at her fingertips, right? She is claiming the world to be her oyster. And this is the energy that I see exuding from you, group number 3. And this is also the type of energy that he loves and he respects. You might think you're being too much, you're being over the top, you're being self-absorbed. How can you feel or think this way? But actually, group number 3, you are handling things just right and in a very attractive manner. Within In Touch with Your Body, I want you to know here that he views you as someone who is mega in touch with their body, their femininity, as well as just feeling and looking good. I want you to know here within In Touch with Your Body that when it comes to your him versus you relationship, you're taking a lot of time in this connection to restore your gut health. As communication is a little wonky, that gives you a lot of time to take care of you and to level up your looks. So that means taking those supplements you have been conveniently forgetting to take, or shall I say lazily forgetting, because when you don't feel like taking them and you do that a couple days in a row, all of a sudden you start to forget about them, all just because you were a little too lazy to take them right from the beginning. But I do want you to know here, getting back in touch with your body then shows that you know you deserve better. You're not settling for less. And that signals to anyone who wants to be close to you that they have to show up fully, just as you are as well. Next up, we've got the Lion Spirit, and let's add this card into your prediction, the Vulture Spirit. Be generous of spirit because nothing is wasted. Group number 3. You might be at a point right now where you feel like you were too generous with your time, your love, you were too generous with your care. But this is actually the universe and your animal spirit guides telling you that's not true. You were not too generous. You were not too anything. You were just right. You were doing things in a manner in which you will look back one day and you will be so proud of yourself that this is the side of you that you showed. This is the side of you that you embraced, because not a lot of people have the strength that you have to be as strong, to be as generous and as giving as you have been. Next up, within the Turkey Spirit, I want you to know here, giving with gratitude and grace is precisely what your spirit guides want you to continue to do. You've always been a giver, you've always been a nurturer, you've always been extremely caring. And one thing that is different about you, and he also notices is completely different about you versus others, is that you never give in a way that feels like resentful. When you give from the heart, and you do things because you want to do them, and people feel comfortable around you. Next up, we've got the Owl Spirit. Now, notice how we have all of these birds. Aside from the lion, we have gotten the swan, we've gotten the Turkey Spirit, we've gotten the Vulture Spirit, now we've got the Owl Spirit. We had the bee as well, which is obviously not a bird, but it's another flying creature. So I want you to understand here within the Owl Spirit that what this represents is seeing very clearly who he is, seeing very clearly what you bring to the relationship, and also how invaluable that is. So what you bring to the relationship is priceless. And taking some steps away from him is going to show him exactly that as well. Because he has had a little moment of forgetting who he's dealing with, and it's time for you to move in silence, just as a little reminder of the fact that you are irreplaceable. The ever unfolding rose is symbolic of things being cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Group number 3, I want you to understand here in the ever unfolding rose that what is happening right now between you and him, it's happening for you. So you can see who he is, what he's thinking, what he's capable of, how long he can go without communicating, without talking, how he behaves in these situations. It's happening for you. It's happening in your favor, so you know who you're dealing with. And also, it gives you the upper hand when you give the situation silence and you just allow for your counsel of light to reveal what's going on. This represents divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. So I want you to know here that you are divinely guided and protected by your spirit guides right now in this connection, in this relationship. Even if you may think that you're confused about what's happening and why it's happening, everything right now is happening for a reason, group number 3. Trust that you're not being led astray in a way that isn't going to serve you. Because I see here within the cobweb, you are actually protected from negative forces beyond your control. That's literally what the cobweb represents. Can you see that here, group number 3? The cobweb tells you that right now you are being protected. You're being protected from a situation that you're not meant to be in. You're being protected from negative energies. And I see here within the mountain, that is because he's actually overcoming a major challenge mentally right now. And you are not meant to be around him when he is in this energy. You're not meant to be absorbing his energy of challenge. He's meant to be bringing energy to your life that is soft, that is uplifting, that is helping, not that is draining and taking away from you. And that's exactly why your guides are saying right now you're being protected. Let him solve his problems. Let him clean up his past. Let him deal with his insecurities. As I see here within Lemuria, that in that meantime, create your own heaven on earth. Create your own beautiful sanctuary. Redecorate your home. Make sure that you meal prep super healthy desserts. Make all of these raw bars with dates, with nuts, with oats, with berries, with all of these different yummy ingredients that can replace unhealthy desserts you would usually have, comfort foods. I want you to know here within Lemuria that actually you are creating your own heaven and safe space. I personally have my house that's like a huge safe space. I have all of my cute cups that are pink with glass rabbits in them and so on. And the mirror represents you have now been given an opportunity to look into the mirror and ask yourself, why does this behavior trigger me? Why am I worried about me versus him and what's going on right now? Why is it that this is invoking some sort of emotion in me that's bothering me? Why is it that I feel like I need clarity from tarot right now? What is it that he is doing that is giving me a feeling of needing support, clarity, stability, and reassurance from elsewhere? What is it that he is lacking, that he is either unwilling to give me or unable to give me, that I'm now getting from elsewhere? And why is this triggering me? What within me has allowed this to be a trigger? What traumas have I experienced in the past that have now allowed these moments and these situations to become triggers? That's one thing that I'm getting here for you within the mirror, group number 3. Your situation with him is going to give you answers to a lot of these questions, because actually you're just getting to know him and yourself to a level that you really want to, in order to make sure that when he circles back, when things get back on track, that you have really decided for yourself and you can be sure that this is the person that you want to invest your time and your energy in, because you know exactly why things trigger you, what triggers you, you've spoken about it, and then you can enjoy the best case scenario too. Now, group number 3, we have a few more messages that your spirit guides have for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space, and then I'll be back to guide you a little more deeply into your reading. As per usual, you don't have to do a thing. You don't have to lift a finger. Simply lean back, relax, and enjoy. Simply lean back, relax, and continue to enjoy, and I will be right back to guide you even more deeply into your prediction. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 3. I can't wait for us to delve even more deeply into your reading, into your prediction, and figure out precisely what's going on in his mind, what's going on between you and him. So first and foremost, we've got take a break, as well as council of light. Now in take a break, that may be exactly what you're experiencing right now, and this is confirmation that that's what is supposed to be happening at this very moment in time. It's a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Sometimes taking a break is the healthiest thing that you can do for any type of relationship, especially one that is romantic, especially one that involves both people bringing 100% to the relationship. Because there is a huge difference between a 50-50 relationship and a 100-100 relationship. A 100-100 relationship is one where both parties bring 100% of what they can to the table when possible. Of course, sometimes you will be on less than 100%, but the idea is that both parties want to give every area that they're capable of giving their all. Now, the Council of Light shows here there's some divine orchestration going on right now, group number 3. You've got some helpers in the subtle realms that right now, in this break phase, in this take a break phase, things are being worked out energetically between you and him, so that when you reunite, when you find back together, the vibes are different, the energy has shifted, and it's like a completely fresh start and new beginning of this connection and this relationship. Next up, we have got boundaries. Now's a great time for you to also set boundaries, because there are moments where we accept things that honestly we shouldn't be accepting. If you have been accepting treatment from this person that you don't actually want to accept, so that means ghosting, on and off, not knowing where you stand, right now, having a moment to yourself, or even actually taking space away from replying to them, from being available to them, that will create healthy boundaries, and establishing better boundaries makes you more sought after and wanted. It's just human nature that when you've got boundaries, when you make yourself inaccessible, that more people are going to want you, more people are going to want to be close to you, more people are going to want to have a piece of your energy, a piece of your presence. And the same goes with him. The same goes with love. He's no different. So perhaps you've made yourself too available, or you didn't have boundaries in place that made you this rare gem that you really are in his eyes. And that might explain why things have developed the way that they have. And I see here in the mouse spirit that your spirit guides and your angels want to remind you, group number 3, to tend to the little details, to remember these seemingly small details of sometimes being unavailable, taking a long time to message back, not because you are playing a game, but because you are genuinely really busy with your life and your work and your things, because you're taking care of other things. You're tending to the details also in the relationship, where if you're talking to a friend on the phone, you have things to do in your household, you have some work tasks to catch up on. Instead of making these pockets of time in between to check your phone, to message your person and to get back to him, you just very deliberately put your phone into airplane mode, or you do other things. And then when you're done all of your tasks, then you reply, and you don't always prioritize being available. What you actually prioritize is having boundaries when it comes to the connections in your life, because that makes you far more respected. Next up, we have got the buffalo spirit. Now, group number 3, the buffalo spirit represents the abundant universe providing. If you have been asking yourself precisely how you will have the love that you desire, the relationship that you want, the how is none of your business. And I explain this in all of my manifestation masterclasses as well. In my muse room, I explain this to you, that the how is none of your concern. What is your concern is to be in the energetic frequency of your desires. What is your concern is to embody that which you are destined to be, and that which you've always wanted to become. The buffalo spirit represents the abundant universe providing in more ways than you thought possible. So instead of worrying about how will this work, how will we get back together, how will we make things be a healthy relationship and a healthy connection, I want you to know that that is provided by the universe when it's meant to be. And the wasp spirit is actually representing that Sometimes you have to just hear that certain things are none of your business. The how is none of your business. The armadillo spirit represents setting healthy boundaries. Again, your angels are reiterating within your reading right now what you were meant to hear, group 3, which is have healthy boundaries. Group 3, your boundaries, they're not strong enough. They have not been upheld. You have not taken them as seriously as you need to be taking your boundaries. And one thing that Spirit, your angels, keep reiterating within your reading is, hey, look at the boundaries, look at what is healthy, look at reinforcing those boundaries. So group number 3, this is not to call you out, but this is the healthiest way for you to move forward in life, because if you have been neglecting your boundaries, then chances are right now you are in a position that you don't want to be in because you did not uphold your own boundaries. If you don't uphold your own boundaries, group number 3, then who will? Next up, we've got the black mulberry. The black mulberry is a symbol of wholeness. It's a symbol of having the things that you desire. We also have master number 33 here, and we have the symbol of Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign that is innovative, that is independent, that also is very whole in the sense of Aquarius doesn't look for others' validation. Aquarius just is, just does, even if that's rebellious, even if that's different, even if that is completely like individualistic. And I want you to know here within the black mulberry that you're going through a phase of finally feeling whole again when you create these healthy boundaries. Because before you felt like there was something missing, maybe you had to level yourself up. Maybe it was something about you that made the relationship not work out, and you kept looking for the quote unquote mistake with you. You kept figuring out what you could change in yourself. And now you're actually realizing you don't have to make changes in yourself. You just have to become more interested in you, more interested in your own boundaries, more interested in your own well-being. The watermelon is a symbol for fertility. So that means the more you take care of yourself, the more fertile you become. And also the more you have this energy about you and around you that he wants to actually be around, where he thinks like, oh my God, this person is so attractive. This person feels very fertile. So it's a very primal type of energy and instinct to want to be around you, and also to want to procreate with you, to start a family with you, to plant the seed, group number 3. You know exactly what I mean. Now, within the watermelon and fertility, be aware of the fact that when you are fertile, if you come back together with this person, take the necessary precautions. If, for example, starting a family is not something that you want to do right now, don't say I didn't tell you so, group number 3, but perhaps this is also part of the relationship that you would like. Now, the banana is symbolic of duality, which we received next in your reading. Your angels brought the banana into your reading to remind you, group number 3, two things can be true at once. You can be in a relationship where you're figuring out how you want to move forward, and at the same time, you can still see them as someone with whom you'd want to start a family with. Don't judge your own feelings and your emotions. Don't judge the fact that, yeah, sometimes your emotions might not make sense, or it might seem over the top. It might seem crazy to others, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense to others. It just has to make sense to you. And I see here within the onion that protecting yourself from unwanted scenarios is something that you can do with more ease than you perhaps even knew. That means if you do not want to be in a scenario where you are a single parent, make sure you take your time with who you select to start a family with. You can daydream about starting a family with this person. You can definitely feel as though that's something that you would like. You can fantasize about it, you can imagine what it would be like, but make sure that before you take that next step, things are set up in a way that you are protected, emotionally, financially, legally. So that is one thing that Spirit is reiterating to you, because some of you might even have already been in relationships where you did not have that in place, and you know how challenging it is once you go through a separation, a divorce, you're a single parent, or you break up with someone and you even had pets together, things that are quote unquote smaller than having kids together. And you know how challenging it can be to sort these situations out when you get into them with someone where it wasn't meant to be with. Next, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a representation of intelligence, charm, and ambition. He finds you to be very innovative and smart, and the type of person that is probably going to outsmart him in many scenarios in a way that he's not experienced before. So he's never been mentally as challenged in a good way as he is with you. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords next. The Ace of Swords, the ace always represents a new beginning in the tarot. The Suit of Swords represents the element of air. What this means is a new beginning in making decisions, changes that are taking place mentally, because the Suit of Swords is ruled by the mental realm. And I want you to know here the Ace of Swords means new thought processes which lead to new ways of taking action. That's one thing I see here in the Ace of Swords in relation to your person, group number 3. Let's delve a little more deeply into your reading. I'm just shuffling your tarot deck for you. Let's see what else comes up. We've got the High Priestess. The High Priestess is representative of secrets being revealed. So sooner than later, group number 3, some secrets will be revealed about him, about his connection with you, about why he has been behaving in this inexplicable way. And what's also going to happen is that you will know your inner voice was right all along, group number 3. So if you have had some sort of feeling, some sort of intuitive hunch of what is going on, group number 3, you're probably right about it. Your intuition doesn't lie. Your intuition has never lied, and your intuition wants what's best for you, group number 3. So I definitely want you to know here that that is going to be visible in your connection with him, and that the truth is going to come to light. And I want us to figure out through more messages from your angels what the truth will entail, what will be confirmed. Literally, you can't make this up. Group number 3, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. If you feel like something's going on with him, trust your intuition on exactly what that is. If you feel like he's trying to get rid of an ex that's trying to come back, that's probably what's happening. If you feel like he's insecure, unsure, and intimidated by you, trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, because your gut feeling isn't lying, group number 3. And I want you to also trust when you have dreams in the middle of the night that you wake up from, take notes. Those dreams really do matter, and there's a lot of truth in them. Every step counts shows us here that he feels as though he still has a whole staircase ahead of him to climb to get onto a place or a level where you feel as though he's your equal. So there is this little sense of intimidation. There is this little sense of feeling physically, as well as with achievements, kind of intimidated by your beauty, your intelligence, and your accomplishments. Feeling a little bit like, he's not sure whether he's quite enough. He's not sure whether he's in a situation where he can offer you much of the things that you really deserve. So that's giving him a little bit of this holding back energy of being kind of afraid of underperforming and making you actually see him as lesser than. His image is very important to him in the eyes of you, and that is why he would rather not show a weaker side and take time away than show up looking and feeling weak in front of you, because that is something that will make him feel less in a masculine energy, less in the type of energy that he actually wants to display and show up in. So group number 3, this is the reading that I've received for you. I trust that you found it insightful and that you enjoyed it. Leave a banana emoji below in the comment section. Let me and others know that you watched your reading all the way to the end and that it resonated. Group number 3, if you're looking for more readings, I have got close to 800 pick a card tarot readings right here on my channel. And furthermore, if you are interested in my free downloadables or private readings, you can check out all of the information in the description box. It's all available to you right there. So group number 3, wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings. Hello, my gorgeous soul of group number 4. Welcome to your You versus Him reading. You chose the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck, as well as the Amethyst crystal. And the reason why you may have felt drawn to this crystal is because it actually brings out psychic ability. It actually helps you to sharpen your intuition and your gut feeling so you can make decisions more easily without procrastinating and feel confident in the choices you're actually making. So that may be the underlying reason why you felt drawn to this crystal. But now let's get into your reading, group number 4, shall we? To figure out precisely what is going on between you and him. Let's see exactly what he's thinking and how this situation is going to continue to progress. So we have the black tourmaline, the fluorite, and the selenite that has showed up for you. The black tourmaline is all about you protecting your energy. So right now your angels and your guides are trying to say to you, group number 4, protect your energy at all costs. This is not a time for you to spend every single waking moment overthinking about him and the you versus him situation. You are also meant to pour back into yourself right now. Yes, you guys, my channel is here for healing. I am here to remind you that you are the main character of your life. And when it comes to love, I truly believe that you should also be the main character in his life. So remember here within the black tourmaline, the message that we're receiving is your angels want you to protect your energy. When's the last time you took time to go to that yoga class, Pilates class, just doing a 10,000 step walk, having the matcha that you love in your favorite matcha spot, making sure that you're calling your friends, your family, staying up to date with them, doing self-care, doing a face mask even. If you're thirsty right now, I want you to also know, group number 4, you're already dehydrated. Drink water, take care of yourself, protect your energy, because being chronically dehydrated, not taking downtime for you, which means also not constantly overthinking, that is essential for you to be your best version of yourself, and that is also what will get this relationship working. The fluorite is all about finding peace within. Message within the fluorite that you were meant to receive is that this relationship, this situationship is going to come back to a place of groundedness and stability when you find your peace within. Finding your peace within means that you've got to clear any clutter that is stopping you from having peace. And the thing is, often we are our own biggest enemy when it comes to our psychological need for rumination, for overthinking, for going over the situation, asking ourselves what every single detail means, every single behavior of another person that we are in a romantic connection with, where we are figuring out how the relationship is going to play out. I want you to know here, with the fluorite and the selenite, literally, in order for this relationship to get back on track, you have to protect your energy, find your peace within, clear out the mental clutter. That means refocusing on yourself, regaining your composure, and rather than putting the focus on him, what's going on with him, the relationship with him, as already mentioned during the intro, swap out the pronouns for whatever situation applies to you. Bring that focus back onto yourself, group number 4. Bring your energy and your attention back onto what you want, what your desires are. Romanticizing your life, making every single moment an event. Like just before I sat down to film your reading, to channel these divine messages, I made myself a matcha in the most romanticized way, playing music, using my favorite plant milks, using my favorite sounds and sound bowls and healing even, in order to just kind of create this energetic frequency that I wanted to drink my matcha in. And I want you to do the same and use this as a source of inspiration and healing and validation for your feelings in order to create the life of your dreams. Next, we've got the tourmalinated quartz. Now, the tourmalinated quartz is a symbol for you getting out of your own way. Right now, when it comes to your you versus him situation, group number 4, it's not to call you out. It's not to make you the sole person responsible for everything in your life that you think is a challenge right now. But this is to change your viewpoint, as in you can get out of your own way. Things don't have to be so difficult. Have you ever thought of it that way, group number 4? That actually you can just get out of your own way. You can get out of overthinking mode. You can get out of the energy of feeling like you constantly need to prove yourself, like you constantly need to solve things. What if you are not the one who always needs to solve? What if you are not the one who always needs to think about everyone else's emotions? Group number 4. What if you get to lean back and relax and enjoy your life a little more too? The pink opal is literally a reminder to be kind to yourself. So your angels and your guides, they can tell you're so hard on yourself in all areas of life, even personal, interpersonal, and romantic relationships. Group 4, you have to be kind to yourself right now, because in order to also have the energy of the world and other people be kind and caring towards you, you have to start by shifting the energy that you feel about yourself. You have to start by changing the way that you treat yourself. Because if you are treating yourself in a kind way, you are teaching the world and others how to treat you, which is how you treat yourself. Again, that is kind, right? The message that we're receiving here in the pink opal, to be kind to yourself, that means that you give yourself time for rest. You give yourself time for relaxation. You give yourself time to just be in the divine feminine energy that you have been missing out on enjoying. Divine feminine energy is receiving energy. So regardless of who you identify as, divine feminine energy means that you are allowing permission for you to receive from others, receiving gifts, receiving nice treatment, receiving financial help, receiving emotional support. Let's move more deeply into your reading and see what result that will bring you. In the Raven, I see that it will be this shiny object syndrome that is fulfilled. I see news coming your way. And right now you're probably like, Vanessa, what does this mean? Group number 4, people will see you as a shiny object and they will want you to be part of their lives. When you chill and don't lean yourself out of the window too much, you're not giving too much, that's when you are able to receive. That's when you're able to have others have the space to give to you. And the more they give to you, the more they see you as a shiny object, as a precious person to have in their life. And the raven is an animal that is known to like shiny objects. So you are becoming more and more enticing to others the more you protect your energy. Next up, we've got the tiger, and group number 4. This is the group that you chose. Leave a tiger emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you chose group number 4 and you're right here, you're with me, you're still within your reading. The tiger is a symbol of strong willpower. The tiger is a symbol of overcoming any type of obstacle with strength, grace, and beauty. So I want you to know here that this relationship, your you versus him situation, it's not going to remain as it is right now at the time of you receiving your reading. It's not going to remain like this forever. There's going to be a shift, there's going to be an upgrade, there's going to be a jump. And we have 2 more cards that popped right into your reading that are going to tell us exactly what is happening. We've got the chameleon with master number 33, and then we've also received the beaver, which corresponds to number 27. And now the chameleon, as you may have even guessed intuitively, is a symbol for change and being able to adapt, whereas the beaver represents hard work. So what's happening in this connection is that the more you're adapting your mind to this fresh outlook of being the main character of your life again, the more actually people will work hard to impress you. He will work hard to come back and impress you. So it is counterintuitive, you being an empath, a giver, a very caring person, and an overthinker, group number 4, it's counterintuitive for you to give less and receive more. I know, it seems strange, like how could I give less and still get more attention, more love, more of what I want? But I want you to know that more isn't always more. Giving more of yourself, giving more attention, giving more love doesn't always mean that you will receive more of that in return. Sometimes you have to give less in order to receive more, because you have to fill the room and the space with less of you acting, so more space can be freed up for things to come towards you. So when you change, he changes and he works harder. Next, we've got the sea turtle. The sea turtle means stability. The sea turtle means that there is a time that is ahead of your connection with him where you will find that the connection is stable again. You're not wondering where you stand. You're not wondering what's going on between you and him. You have this sea turtle energy of just calmness and understanding exactly what's going on between the two of you. So that is part of your connection with him. That's part of what's coming next in this relationship and in this situation. Now, next we've got the polar bear that has appeared in your reading, and the polar bear is symbolic of not just ancestor energy, but also things needing a moment because there is cold energy around here. Can you see that within the polar bear? We have this kind of like Antarctica, North Pole vibes, probably more North Pole if we're speaking of polar bears. And I want you to know here within the polar bear, what this represents is taking time also to connect with how your ancestors have come to a point that allows you to now live this life. He has a different background with his ancestors, so different genes and energetic frequencies were passed down to him. That's why he handles situations differently from you. Your ancestors passed down a different type of energy to you, so you handle challenges, situations, and relationships different to how he does, and different to how other people from a different lineage do. So remember that if you come from a lineage of a lot of trauma, fear, perhaps even going through this kind of phase of being captured, your ancestors not being able to live their lives fully. Even just identifying as a woman means that your ancestors did not have the rights that you have now. That forms naturally more of an anxious attachment style. What does that mean? An anxious attachment style means that if you don't get the type of emotional stability that you require from another person, like in your relationship with him, you don't feel good and it affects you. You're not as focused, you're not as concentrated, you're overthinking, and it creates anxiety. But the wonderful thing about knowing this is that you can do something about it, group number 4. And I see here within the Mintakan that you have been longing for home. You have been longing to belong. You are an original light worker. That's why you feel this way, because you are the type of person who has come from seemingly a different planet. It's like on planet Earth, you might have always felt like there's no place that really, really, really feels like home, where you truly feel like, okay, this is where I belong. You've always felt like the odd one out, like the underdog. Perhaps you even have a Aquarius placement within your Mercury, within your moon, your sun. I want you to know here in the Mintakan that being in this rebellious Aquarius placement, having that be something that is probably part of your birth chart that is influencing you, it means that you will always feel this little sense of being different, and what you long for in a romantic relationship is someone who just gets you, where you don't always feel like you're the black sheep. And once you've found that, you have found the one, group number 4. That's how you know you're with the right person, when you no longer feel weird or like the odd one out. Next up, we've got awakening. Now, within awakening, you see this ascension, you see this type of spiritual enlightenment, growth, and elevation that we have represented in the awakening card. Now, this shows us energetic upgrades happening in this connection with him. A new way of being, an integration of everything of you, everything that you may have even felt made you weak or was inappropriate in you. And when you learn to not only accept, but actually truly love those parts of yourself that make you so unique, that is when ascension happens, that is when growth happens, that is when you have this sense of spiritual enlightenment and just being different than you've ever been before, right? Being an upgraded version of yourself. That's one thing that I see that's coming next, that is happening out of necessity right now because of where your relationship is. The Tower means destruction and things never being the same as they were. Don't panic, group number 4, because in your instance, this is a good thing. You don't want the relationship to come back to a point of not knowing. You want the relationship to have the stability that the sea turtle brings as a message that's next in this connection. What this means, what your angels and guides are trying to say here within the tower, is to let things happen right now. Let them crumble, let things change, let things never be the same. Trust and believe that this is a necessary part of the process. This is a necessary part of upgrading. This is a necessary part of this relationship growing, becoming better. Things have to first crumble in order for you to then be able to rebuild them. Next, we have the 10 of Coins, which is probably the most favorable card for anybody who wants to be in a relationship where two people are building together also financially and in the material realm. So building a home together. He provides the house, you make it a home. He provides the funds, you help to invest it smartly, intuitively, securely with your psychic ability. The 10 of Coins, as you can see here, it shows these two people, which seem to be a couple, and they're sitting on thrones, and this shows here financial abundance. It shows equity. It shows a family life of ownership. So that means owning land, owning property, owning businesses. This is a card of affluence. This is a card of abundance. This is a symbol that that is what's meant to come towards you in your romantic connection. And I want you to know here in the 10 of Coins that things sometimes have to be destroyed in order for you to then be able to build on a solid foundation that can create this generational wealth of the 10 of Coins. Next, we have the 4 of Swords. Right now, group number 4, perhaps you are overthinking, because that's what the 4 of Swords represents. The 4 of Swords represents overthinking, feeling like this is something that you're not sure you can stem, you can handle, you're not sure you have enough knowledge, you're intelligent enough. But I just want you to know there's nobody out here on this planet that deserves the life that you desire more than you. Why would someone else deserve it more? Why would you think that someone else is more intelligent than you are when all they did was learn? Nobody was born with knowledge. Group number 4, remember, it's all acquired, it's all learned, it's all exposing yourself to amazing podcasts, books, seminars, workshops, mentors, and situations in which you can learn to become better, and you can learn to understand the processes of how you can create stable foundations and relationships. Now, next we have the 6 of Swords reverse. This means no more overthinking. You've received this reading. You're going to continue to receive these messages. Group number 4, as our reading is not yet done, the 6 of Swords is symbolic of you will stop overthinking so much. This reading is going to heal you. It's going to bring you peace. It's going to bring you a type of just inner knowing that, okay, you understand the situation. You know what's going on now. You don't have to continue to emotionally put yourself in a situation of turmoil. You don't have to continue to overthink. You don't have to continue to constantly use all of your energy and wondering what's going on, what is he thinking, what's happening next. You can actually start to enjoy this connection. You can actually even start to enjoy the distance because you know what's meant to be yours in your relationship moving forward. Next, we have the White Raven Spirit. The White Raven Spirit brings the message to trust the magic. Sometimes we want all of the answers, and we want them all ahead of time. Number 66 is a number of family, of generosity, of nurturing, of caring, of togetherness. The White Raven Spirit is a symbol of you trusting that your life and your relationships are turning out exactly the way that they should. Group number 4, no overthinking, no feeling like you might not get what you desire, but just all trust. Trusting in the fact that you've made it until this point. There were times where you didn't know how you would get through challenges. Still, you persevered, you prevailed, you were strong, you made it through the other side. You're, after all, here watching this reading, receiving these messages, and that's how things will continue, group number 4, but in a even better sense of you getting the things that you wished and hoped for, that you dreamed of, that you've been desiring all along. And the grasshopper spirit is your spirit guides telling you, don't be afraid to take a leap of faith in the meantime. I am getting this energy of someone in the meantime trying to get close to you. So another person chatting you up, okay? Another person coming into your life and showing interest in you romantically, showing interest in being with you, and your initial response might be to have loyalty towards the person who made you tune into this psychic reading to begin with. But be open to who's coming into your life next, group number 4, because not only does that energetically free you from being too obsessed with one person, which makes you more interesting, right? Which makes you the kind of person that they can tell you're going for who treats you best. That's the most important. But it also shows the universe that you're ready to be open when things are not good for your health. You are ready to leave a situation that isn't meant for you because you know that there will always be an upgrade. And we've got the World card in reverse. I'll show you this card upright. This is actually the final card of the major arcana in the tarot. The major arcana is about major life events that are taking place for you. The fact that this final best card of the tarot showed up in reverse for you, what this means, group number 4, is that the best time of your life is around the corner. Cards showing up in reverse means that this is still what's taking place. However, it's slightly delayed. So you might be getting a little antsy. You might feel a little impatient. Try not to get too impatient, group number 4, because amazing situations for you are just around the corner. But it is extremely important that you keep faith, that you keep trusting that good things are meant to be yours and good things will be yours, group number 4. As the 5 of coins tells you that even now, through a time of feeling kind of alone, cold, like you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's happening in love, you don't know, should you stay, should you go, should you give another chance, should you give a new person another chance? The answer to the new person is give people a chance who are treating you how you want to be treated. The 5 of coins is also a clear sign in correlation to the World card in reverse. You do not have long of this period of going through unknowing and discomfort until all of a sudden you're on the biggest high you've ever been on when it comes to your private life and your relationship. And right now, we have some more messages that I know your guides have in store for you. So what I'm going to do, group number 4, is I'm going to clear and cleanse the space. I'm going to sage our reading space. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to do a thing. And then I'll be right back for us to delve even more deeply into your reading. So just lean back, relax, continue to enjoy your psychic prediction. And I'll be right back to help you receive even more divine messages that you are meant to know in regards to your love life. Welcome back, my gorgeous soul of group number 4. Now let's delve a little more deeply into your reading, shall we, to see everything that you need to hear and receive. I'm not going to leave out any messages, even if they are slightly unrelated to your you versus him situation, because for me, what's more important as your psychic reader is for you to get a holistic, entire overview of every single divine message that is present within your reading. So first and foremost, in the stone people, your angels, the universe is bringing you the message that you already know more. You know a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Your gut feeling, your intuition, even just how intelligent you are as a person, how educated that you are, you usually kind of underestimate how much you know and how intelligent that you are just because of past traumas, connections, experiences you had in school, even bullying, that has made you feel as though, maybe I'm not that smart, maybe I'm not as good as I hoped that I would be or as I thought I was. And I see here within the birds that actually right now your guides are trying to say, this is a season in your life that is geared towards freedom. I want you to make sure that you are being so real with yourself about whether you want to live a life of overthinking, whether this person deserves this much of your overthinking energy and for you to have less freedom, or whether it is a time for you now to feel completely free, to allow the you versus him situation to also just show you what he's about and what he's capable of, how long he can go with this kind of unknowing vibe between the two of you. Allow that to give you the freedom, because it is not in your control. And when you stop overthinking and you try to make other people's behavior your problem, when you let go of that, you're so much more free to focus on yourself. Next up, within the medicine shield, I want you to know here, you're being called to protect yourself. And it's funny because literally just last night, I posted in our closed Instagram community, which if you follow me on Instagram, I post a lot of healing, motivational type of quotes and content and reels. And I also have our Unicorn Army community there that you can join, and I post private readings for all of us in there. Last night, we've received the medicine shield within our private group as well. And the medicine shield is all about you protecting yourself. The message was you not waiting for someone to come and protect you and shield you, but you already protecting and shielding yourself from experiences that you don't want. Because that way, you're not waiting for them to come and protect your feelings. You're not waiting for anything, but you're already in a good place. And when they come back, because they will, because this person is interested in you, he's thinking about you, he's wondering what you're doing. So when he comes back to check, he's going to find you thriving. He's going to find you better than ever. And that's going to make him think, oh, wow, I probably made a mistake thinking that I could just leave, thinking that I could just kind of leave things up in the air and come back and I would find her in the same position that she was in when I left, because actually, she does not seem to need me whatsoever. So I definitely see here within your reading, group number 4, that when it comes to your independence, that is what makes you so insanely attractive. When you protect yourself, you are independent from anyone else. That makes people actually want to care for you even more. That actually is attracting more of the provider type personality in romantic partners, because it makes them want to prove themselves. It makes them want to show that they've got what it takes to be in your life, and for you to let up from your protective energy and instead open up and allow them close to you. Next up, within crystal clear, I see for you, group number 4, that things are becoming abundantly clear for you shortly after you have the sense of freedom in your connection to them, and they're going to reach out and also make it crystal clear what they want from your connection, what they want from this relationship. I see that when you are not as obsessed with them, that's when they come back and they want everything. And I see that here in the leap of faith. They're going to tell you how they truthfully feel. They're going to tell you all of their emotions, what they've been going through. They're going to tell you that yeah, they made a mistake, they would like to come back, they would like another chance, they would like for you to give them the opportunity to show you how much they actually want this and they want to be together. And it's going to be up to you, group number 4, whether you take them back. It's going to be up to you whether you see this as an opportunity to now create the type of relationship that's working in your favor and the way that you want, whether you perhaps even feel as though that's all you wanted, you just wanted to have the opportunity to be with them, but actually now perhaps you're not even that into them anymore. Group number 4, you would be surprised at how healing affects you. I see here within the geranium that a message that your angels needed you to receive right here, right now, is that healing and further internal healing is required for you and is what's happening next. And that's why you're also going through this phase in your relationship life right now, because you're meant to heal more. You're meant to create more stability from the inside out. You're meant to be more secure in yourself, more secure in who you are, so that you are also less easily impressed by bare minimum from people, and you basically expect the best out of others because you also give yourself the best, and because you've also healed yourself in such a deep way. We have a card that popped itself right out of the pile as I was shuffling, which is the broccoli, and the broccoli energetically means leadership. You are a leader. Group number 4, you were always meant to be a leader. Perhaps even as a kid, you led your siblings, you led people in your family, even though you were probably way too young to be taking on all of that responsibility. But you still did because necessity, because there was no other way. And I see here that now it's time for you to lead you to your happiness. It's time to lead you to your highest, best self, because that's actually going to make them think to themselves that they respect you on a whole another level because they didn't see this coming. You're going to surprise them in the most revamped, healed version of you, and that is going to actually take everybody in your circumference by surprise. It's going to take everybody in your life by surprise, how much you're changing, healing, growing, and elevating yourself. And I want you to know here, group number 4, that what comes next is a phase of growth. It's a phase of clarity in your love life, and knowing what you want, what you deserve, going just for that, and feeling freedom because you're no longer overthinking what another person is thinking about you, and you're no longer trying to control a situation that essentially is out of your control and is not for you to overthink and to feel trapped by, but it is actually a time for you to find complete freedom in your life and in love. Another thing that I also want you to be aware of here in the medicine shield, that Spirit is saying we cannot be done with our reading before you've heard this. Your supplements, group number 4, have you been taking those? Because if you're not taking your supplements, if you have to take iron, vitamin B12, if you need to take something like vitamin D and you've been low on it, that can really affect your mood, and it can affect your ability to think straight, which then also makes you more susceptible to overthinking and acting impulsively in all areas of your life, even love, for example. So I want you to know here, when it comes to the medicine shield, now is a time for you to protect your energy. Now is a time for you to do so by doing really great self-care and by making sure that you're not missing out or forgetting to do these things for yourself, right? Like, for example, making sure that you have got your supplements that you are actually taking, and that you are actually making sure, that you are not missing out on your health, and that you're not taking it for granted. Even as mentioned, being thirsty. Being thirsty means you're already dehydrated. It's not just, oh, I'm a little thirsty. No, your body is already screaming at you to the point where you have not hydrated at the time that you should. Hydrate now. When you're done with your reading, go take those supplements. It's literally 20 seconds for a lifetime of health. It should be like brushing your teeth. It should be a no-brainer. And that will give you so much more leverage and power when you take such amazing care of yourself. It gives you a lot of power and love because you're not going to allow anyone to treat you in any manner. So he's noticing these energetic shifts as you're doing them, even if you're not right with him, even if you're not telling him that this is happening. Energetically, people can feel it. If you have been in a situation where as soon as you got over someone, whether it's an ex or a situationship, as soon as you moved on, right? As soon as you started talking to someone new or someone who was actually showing you the type of respect and energy that you deserve, then all of a sudden, the person from the past came back that you wished would have given you that, the ex situationship, all of a sudden they're trying to come back. And it almost feels as though every time energetically, as soon as you want to move on, they're coming back. As soon as you want to take a step forward, oh, here they show up again. So that shows you that energetically things can be felt and they feel when you're moving on, but it has to be authentic. If you're not truly authentically moving on, if you're not truly authentically in a space where you're no longer allowing them to be the focal point of your thoughts, to be the focal point of your feelings, that's when things shift. But it has to be real, it has to be authentic, and for that, you really have to get back onto focusing on yourself. And that is exactly what your angels want you to do, regardless of this situation, how it is right now between you and him. The best thing you can do for yourself is to shift the energy authentically, and he will be running back. He will be thinking to himself, I don't know what mistake I made, but I need to be back in her life because things are looking pretty good over there. And then the power will be back in your hands for you to decide whether you want to continue on this connection and this relationship, or whether you have actually, in the meantime, met someone new. Now, group number 4, this is the reading that I received for you. I trust that you found it insightful, and I hope that it resonated for you. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. You guys know I love to read from you. Furthermore, I've got all of my free PDF downloadables below in the description box. Feel free to browse through that, and almost 800 pick a card reading predictions on my channel, from monthly horoscopes to timeless pick a card readings. Make sure you check that out if you would like to receive more super detailed, accurate readings from me. Now, group number 4, wherever you are on our gorgeous planet, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of our upcoming readings. I would like to once again thank June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. Download June's Journey with my link in the description box, or the QR code that you can see on the screen right now, to get started on your very own adventure today.